Here is the review, everybody, for the end of the topic and about quadratics. So these patterns. If this is figure 1, then really n would be 1. If this is figure 2, then n would be 2. If this is figure 3, n would be 3. So if I wanted figure 4, what I know is I would always have these 3, right? And then I would add on. Well, if n is 3, there's 2 of them. If n is 2, there's 2 of them. If n is 1, so in this way I'd have to add 4 of those, and 4 of those, well, n is 4, so it'd be 2n, because we got 2 n's, 2 n's, 2 n's, plus the 3. So my formula is a 2n plus 3. If I plug in for the 10th term, 10, I'd go 2 times 10 is 20, plus 3 is 23. So the 10th figure would have 23 tiles, okay? All right, hopefully that makes sense. Number 3, I just FOILed. I get an 8x squared plus a 2x minus a 12x minus 3, okay? So I'm just, 8x squared plus 2x minus 12x plus, minus 3, and then I combine the two middle terms, I get a negative 10x. So I got an 8x squared minus 10x minus 3. 4 is just a little bit bigger. I have to distribute first. I get a 2x squared minus an 8x. Leave the 3x alone. Distribute first. Minus 5x squared plus 10x. Combine like terms. Here's my x squared, so I get a negative 3x squared. I got a negative 3x. I got a negative 8x, positive 3x, positive 10x makes a positive 5x when you combine the x's, okay? All right, number 5. So if I were to graph what I know, it's got a vertex at 1, 4, and it passed through the point 2, 0. So I can at least graph this by the line of symmetry. Graph it. Now what about the equation? Well, I know vertex form. So I start with my equation. Y equals a x minus h quantity squared plus k. That's vertex form. H and k, h is 1, so I plug the 1 in there. K is 4, so I put the 4 there. Now I need more information. I need to find the value of a. I need more. So I find a point, and every point has some x and y value. I need more, so I put the 0 in for this x and the negative 2 in for this y. Now all I have left is a, and I can solve for a. So okay, I have to solve for a, so all right, minus 4 gives me negative 6. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1, and so then obviously a is negative 6, because I, divide by 1. So I'm going to go back to here and have y equals a, which is negative 6 times x minus 1 squared plus 4. Okay? Turn the page. On the back side of the review, I have graphing. It's not too bad. Negative 2, 0, 3, 0. And these are my roots. So I go to root form. Root form is my y equals a times x minus r1, x minus r2. All right? So I'm going to put my negative 2 there, which makes a positive 2, and my 3 there. So I have y equals x plus 2 and x minus 3. Now I need more information. So I'm going to put in my point 0, 6, because it's an x and a y value. Put my negative 6 in for y, and I put my 0 in for both x's because I want to find the value of a. All right, so negative 6 goes for y, 0 for the x's. Okay, so then I have to simplify. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 minus 3 is negative 3. I'm going to multiply these two and get negative 6. Oh, this is easy. Divide, divide. A is 1. So I'm going to take it back to right there and rewrite my equation. Y is equal to 1. I don't need the 1, but there it is. X plus 2, x minus 3. All right, let's keep going. 7, I brought over the 20, and I got a negative 20, and then I factored negative 5. That looks like a 0. 1. Let's make sure that's a 1. Negative 5, positive 4, but with the mini equations, it's just the opposite. It's going to be a positive 5 and a negative 4. 8, I have to common factor. They have a multiple of 5 in common and an x in common, so I common factor out of 5x. And when I do that, I have 5x and x minus 4. Again, many equations. I'd have a 5x equals 0. Divide by 5, divide by 5, I get 0. Add 4, I get 4. Okay, so those are my answers. I guess I could highlight my answers. Why not, right? Highlight my answers. Okay, 9, I added 4 first, went plus 4, and I got 25. I square rooted, and the square root of 25 is going to be plus or minus 5. So I made it equal to 5 and to negative 5. Plus 4 plus 4, I get 9. Plus 4 plus 4, I get negative 1, okay? Complete the square. A lot of kids don't do this right. Let's do this slowly, okay? Step 1 on complete the square. We bring c to the other side. I did that. There's my negative 12. I take 1/2. Half of b. Half of 10. So we take half of negative 10 is a negative 5, and I square that. Gives me a positive 25. So I added 25 to both sides. You have to do it to both sides. I used a different color because I'm completing the square. This will factor into an x minus 5, x minus 5. This will factor into an x minus 5, x minus 5, okay? So I rewrote it as x minus 5 coni squared. Then I wanted to solve it, so I took the square root of both sides. I got the square root of 13. Oops, that's a 13. I used my calculator, and 5 plus square root of 13 is about 8.61, and then 5 subtract the square root of 13 is about a 1. Oh, you don't see that, 1.39. Okay. 11 is the quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. There we go. So a, b, c. A is 5. A, B, C. A is 5. B, and C. So negative b, negative 2, plus or minus b squared minus 4, because that's part of the formula, ac all over 2a. Okay, so then I simplified it. Negative 2 is a positive 2. Plus or minus 4 minus 120 all over 10. Uh-oh. That gives me a negative square root of 116. You can't do that. So I get no solution. Hi, Mr. Winter Singer. I'm almost done. Number 12, I know here's my formula. There's my initial velocity. There's my starting height. If I wanted to find out the maximum height and that time, I use my negative b over 2a, right? T equals negative b over 2a. So there's my negative b over 2a. I simplified that. I got about a 2.1875 seconds. That's time. Okay, that makes sense. To get the height, I just plugged it in. 4t. I used my calculator and got 91.5625. Now, to get when it hits the ground, I use the quadratic formula. Okay, and I show my work on the quadratic formula here. Quadratic formula, a, b, and c. I worked out the negative b plus or minus square root of b squared all over 2ac, and I worked on it, and I worked on it, and 2a, I mean, and I ended up with getting a negative 0.2 and a positive 4.58 seconds. Okay, that's all I have. Come see me if I went too fast or you're confused, okay?